Hey man, I got that going. Definitely not mechanic. There's a Logan man. We're gonna go work on the truck, man. We're gonna do. We got different things to do to it. And you got the power steering rack and the ball joints. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Definitely Not Mechanics. On today's episode, we are working on Chris's truck. We're doing a power steering rack. We're doing upper control arms. We're doing lower ball joints. We're doing hub bearings. And we've already done spindles, lift spindles before, lift springs, shocks, and inner and outer tie rod ends. But now it's time to do everything else. We're gonna get it all cleaned up, get a nice, good daily driver, and then we're gonna go run over some stuff. Okay. We need the jack to be under this spring to bring it up a little bit.
Where's the other jack?
Just use this one.
Oh yeah, we have jacks.
Alright. Huh? No.
Yeah, this is the two cell of my battery life.
It's already under there. Nice, that's how it's just supposed to come out.
Whack. It's because those are replaced, so they're 100 years old. Well, Zach, last time, got us the wrong upper control arms.
And also didn't help that time either. Stupid
Hey-oh, Carpino.
No, it's a press.
Give us an update, Logan.
So I opened up the grease gun and kind of popped it, and grease went everywhere.
Show us your hands.
But it was a lot worse, I can promise you that. But we just took all the grease off of our hands and put it in here, and it's about half full now.
Chris, give us an update.
We haven't gotten there.
You getting after it, buddy?
I'm trying.
Taking that there cotter pin out? Probably a good thing to do, huh? They say you're not supposed to reuse cotter pins, but honestly, I've never had a problem with it as long as they're not weak.
Yeah, if they don't feel like you're fixing a break.
Yeah, like I wouldn't use like a rusty one or something, but if it's a pretty solid one for a ball joint or something, I'll probably use
These
it
are
again.
brand new cotter pins. So just
Yeah, those are brand new
glue it
because
in
we
here.
just did the lift spindles on this. That's a 4-inch lift spindle. And then those are actually stock springs, the Bilstein shocks, new calipers, new rotors. I'm pretty positive this has new hub bearings in it.
It does, but they're still loose
Okay,
because I ride like a crazy
got it.
person.
Get it on there a little bit. Hit it a couple of times. These freaking lock nuts are annoying. Fuck it, put that on there. Close enough. What are you doing?
It keeps shooting it off. I've been around for quite a while with
The little bar tie on the. They work there. Good thing you're gonna need a new bolt anyways.
That's what we were trying to get it out.
But
Let's get a close up. It milled the threads off.
Look how loose this one was.
Oh my.
The bolts were loose on this. No? These bushings are just shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet you it's still working.
Hold, please. Keep going. All right, crank it by hand. You can do it. Just crank it by hand. Push. All right. Check out how bad this one was.
Yeah.
That's not okay. So, when you're doing these, you always want to make sure you scrape the gunk off where you're about to seat the new one. Because one, when you're gonna get a chance to scrape gunk like this. And two, helps it seat better, make sure nothing's stuck in there, it doesn't get jammed, seized, turn the wrong direction, anything like that. That's some good gunk scraping. If your neighbor's gonna be gone for a while, you don't have a garage to do this in, you better do it in his driveway because it's gonna make a bit of a mess. So one thing that you wanna do before you press in your lower ball joint, once you have it, is put your grease fitting on. Because there's never any telling which way this is gonna end up. And the last thing you want is this to end up facing your knuckle, so you can't grease it without taking your knuckle off. That's never a good thing. You don't wanna get these too tight because they will break in there and they're a pain in the ass to get out. You're doing good work here, I promise. There you go. Good timing. You'll just need to put the nut on it and rotate it. Like as you're tightening, you rotate a little bit and it'll fall in place. Hit that beast with a hammer, yo. It's super quiet in here. It's really peaceful. I don't know what that is.
Come on, motherfucker.
We need a little more. Just wiggle it back and forth while you're going up. I'll throw this on here. There we go. And that's teamwork. And that's what makes the dream work. Heavy, huh? Work on moving yours around. Can you push it down? Okay, right there. This is another situation where you need a buddy, and it's just helpful to have. Get him to push that down to where I can kind of get this going in there. Oh, I think we're going the wrong way anyways. All right. Oh. Hold it. Whew. Ready? There we go. That's all the way in. And that's why this is kind of a two-person job. You definitely got to have somebody jacking it while you're guiding it. You can do it by yourself, especially if you have a lift, but it is definitely a pain in the ass, and it's always good to have a buddy with you. So this steering rack is actually an extremely easy job. You just have to take the tie rod ends loose, and then it's one nut on each side. So 2 nuts hold it on, and then pull the cooler off here, and this line off the bottom. And you'll have to switch that top line over onto the new one, but it's easier to do when it's off. So right now, all we have to do is just pull this stud out, and the whole thing drops down.
Very simple.
So we got it completely out. It was a 13 millimeter on the steering shaft, and you just have to pull that one bolt out. It's threaded pretty far, so get ready for a fun ride because there's not a lot of room. Now I don't know if you guys have noticed already, but this is definitely a shock boot off of a Rancho shock that we are using, and it did not work. There you go. Yeah, okay. So this is the way that I measure when I'm switching these over to get to an alignment shop. You loosen it and you try to keep the nut in place while you screw this off. After that, take a tape measure, measure it, do the same thing on the new one, and put that nut at the same distance and screw that up to it and adjust accordingly. I feel like it works pretty well. I have done alignments for a long time and still don't understand how it works and how to get it right by eye, but this is close enough, I'm sure. Right? You think this is close enough?
I mean, I don't know. I'm getting it aligned tomorrow, so.
Okay.
No!
What?
Damn. Overshot.
Right now, Chris is just tightening down these upper control arm bolts. We just adjusted them, got the cams straight where we wanted them. That way we could adjust it. That way we could set our caster and camber. All right, we're sweaty, we're dirty, we're tired. We just finished everything. We did everything but the hub bearings, and one of the tie rods is bad, we found when we took the rack off. So he does have to get another one of those, and hopefully Zach can do it tomorrow if he ever replies to any phone calls or texts, ever. Chris, do you want to give us some closing remarks?
Thank you, Definitely Not Mechanics, for helping me with my shitbag project.
Okay, now try it again, but say, thanks, Definitely Not Mechanics, for pimping my ride. Brandon, any closing remarks?
No, I didn't do shit.
Nice. Nice.
That should be the title. No, I didn't do shit.
Pretty much. We just took this thing on a test drive and it rides amazing. As far as suspension and everything, it just feels so much better. There's nothing loose in the steering or anything like that. Like the alignment's kind of wonky, and it definitely needs to be fixed. But other than that, it rides pretty sweet.
I